morning from the world's most famous beach. Danny, Motorcycle Service LLC, Sober Cycles. It's gonna be a good one. Alright, so I was using a really cheap phone. I started out from nowhere a few months ago. I think 88 days ago. Crawled out of Jacksonville with nothing. I've always lived in Daytona Beach, but in 2016 I went up to Jacksonville to divorce my wife, which was extremely bipolar and just abusive, and I loved her to death, but she couldn't control her issues. She would scream at the top of her lungs for no reason, and I could see the shock in her daughter's eyes. So I knew I had to divorce her, that I couldn't take the abuse anymore. She was just mentally abusive for no reason. Not that she wasn't a great person, she just couldn't control it. Trying to catch that sun, about to jump over out there. It's so beautiful out here this morning. I'm grateful for where I live. But anyway, I went to Jacksonville in 2016. And I left Daytona, where I always had my recovery. Daytona Beach is an incredible place for recovery. There's meetings everywhere, so there's a huge network. There's awesome people that I've known for a long time. A lot of great clubhouses. Just a huge fellowship, and I love it. And it's a great way of life. Alcohol and drugs are but a symptom. We have to work on all the other stuff that's bothering us. Usually none of us feel comfortable in our own skin, and we're trying to feel better and get to a different place in feeling better. And we try to do that with alcohol and drugs. And sometimes it might temporarily work until it no longer works, and then it really doesn't work. It might be fun until it's no longer fun, and then it's really not fun anymore. So I went to Jacksonville in 16. Got in a relationship right away with a pretty good woman, a great woman. But she had never smoked a cigarette in her life, never had a speeding ticket, very religious, and that just wasn't me. Not that that wasn't good, not that that wasn't a good thing. I mean that I couldn't really relate, and we grew apart. For 2 years, in 2018 and 2020, I had changed careers. I got my CDL. Coffee. And in doing so, we kind of grew apart. And we eventually had broken up, but we had everything. She made a lot of money, and I was starting to make really good money. And I lost everything because it was all in her name. Lost the big house, all that stuff. And I had to start out from scratch. And I started out from scratch from being in a giant house on 2 acres to in a really bad neighborhood. And I'm tired, I'm hurting, and one day I wanted to feel better. And in that moment, I picked up cocaine. And when I picked up cocaine, I ran into the best connections I had ever seen or had. So, and it was a weird area known as the Circle, the north side of Jacksonville. I won't get into particulars, but it was weird. It was very hard to stop. I spent about $40,000 in 3 months, and then when the money ran out, I still managed to survive and get about $300 a day in crack. I managed to still do that somehow. Even without stealing, I managed to hustle up about $300. I was in so much pain. One of my kids is in South Carolina, the other is in Ohio. I got separated from them, and my entire family's passed away. My dad died in a car accident when I was 18, and my mom killed herself. Or my dad died in a car accident when I was 15, and my mom killed herself when I was 18. And I've just been in a lot of pain. It's a long story, and I'll keep getting into it. now that I have a better phone, I was struggling with storage. I can only do the 3-minute little videos, so I couldn't do the real, actual hard introduction that I wanted to get into the recovery part and some of the motorcycle stuff too. But I fell so hard in Jacksonville that after the money ran out, I figured out how to survive, and I wouldn't even spend money on food. If I had 20 bucks, I wasn't getting cigarettes because I'm getting a 20. Just life got really, really horrible. I lost 70 pounds in 3 months. And when I had my time in sobriety before that and my really good years in recovery, it was just as an alcoholic. I had no idea I was an addict too. I still prefer the original fellowship because I think the recovery's stronger. I do go to some of the dark side meetings or the other side, but there's a lot of hooking up in that one, so I keep it primarily with the first anonymous program. But anyway, I only ate out trash cans for 3 months after the money ran out. So horrible. Just hell. And even though I had had years in recovery and a lot of hard bottoms before this one, I didn't understand. I don't think I understand the obsession. I don't know if I ever had the alcohol obsession. I knew that I'd been in jail a million times because of alcohol and the troubles that it caused, but I didn't have the physical, mental obsession like I did with crack cocaine. That is a horrible demon, a beast, but it doesn't matter what it is. No matter what it is, we're all trying to feel better about ourselves, or feel okay, or relieve some pain, or whatever it is. So moving forward, I finally dragged myself out of Jacksonville. It was hard. I lost my phone, put my phone in one of them recycling things for a few bucks. Whatever it take, it was all about just crack. So I finally did that and pulled myself out of there. I had to beg at meetings for someone to please save me to get me out of Jacksonville. And they couldn't understand. They were like, there's great meetings here. No, not like my recovery here in Daytona. This is where my network is, my people are, people I've known for many years. So I finally got someone to give me a ride. And I've been back in Daytona since January 25th, 2023. And I haven't picked up since. I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't do marijuana maintenance. I go to one meeting a day, and I'm gonna do so whenever I can for the rest of my life. Because I'm that wounded, I'm that broken. So I am grateful for the life that I live. In the motorcycle thing, I'm going to use that in recovery as part of the determination that it takes. I've seen a lot of people come and go over the years, and you really got to be the one that stays. You really got to be the one that follows the suggestions. So I opened my company back up after a couple weeks here just by getting on a government food stamp phone. I had Motorcycle Service LLC. I've owned that name since 2013. I updated the phone number on Google. I updated the number on Facebook, started posting some ads here and there. And my first job on a Harley, I scheduled an appointment and I had to postpone it because I couldn't get any tools together. So the next day that I had it rescheduled, I still didn't have any tools together. So I'm like, shit, what am I gonna do? I went to the job just to show up and tell the customer, look, I'm sorry, but I just moved back. I don't have all my tools together, but I didn't want to disappoint you, and I still wanted to show up, suit up and show up. And that honesty works in everything. He was so appreciative. He said, here, I have all the tools you need. I got the job done. I spent that money on tools instead of rent. Had to tell rent. Whatever. It worked. Keep going and going and going and driving, and you can have whatever you want. Make sure you put enough energy into recovery. Have a great morning.